Basically, I'm an IT professional trainer. Today, I'm going to discuss with you regarding fundamentals of computer. So, computer is an electronic machine which is collection of software and hardware. Without software, this is just a metal box. Hardware, which is tangible, that you can touch it and feel it. There are three basic building block of computer hardware of computer system hardware. First one is I/O, input output devices, like keyboard. Your computer keyboard is known as QWERTY board because it is start from the alphabets QWERTY. That's why right now you are having the cell phones, they said QWERTY keypad. That means that kind of keypad is very similar to the computer keyboards, that all the functionality whatever you do with your laptop or a PC, that you can do with your smartphones or cell phone, that kind of cell phone. So QWERTY board is an input device, because what you are pressing a button but you are not getting the output from that button, that's why it's just input. However, monitor is output device because you are getting something from there. For example, right now I am viewing my picture, it's giving me my photo, that's why it's a output device. There is also one of the things you should remember regarding output device, that if you are giving something to that device and in that device is from that particular device something is coming out of, then also it becomes an output device. For example, fax machine is an output device, your Xerox is an output device, your scanner will not be an output device, because a scanner will get input but it gives you an output or on your PC or a laptop, whatever it be. Printer is an output device. So we can categorize input and output device in this fashion. Now, the second part of the computer system hardware is memory. Fundamentally, memory is divided into two parts, primary and secondary. Primary, which is volatile, fast, and smallest memory area. Sometimes primary memory cannot be volatile. For example, there are memory like ROM, um, which is a primary memory but it's not a volatile, but it's small and it's fastest, one of the fastest memory you have. RAM, that's known as main memory, which is primary memory, that's volatile. Volatile means it's temporary. For example, if I'm opening a Wattpad, I'm just writing something, at the same time I just trying to close the window, then a pop-up box will come and say, would you like to save it or not? If I'm saving yes, then it just put my device onto the particular hard drive. That means where I'm working, it's not saving, it just I'm working on a running memory. So to save, so computer memory are basically are two types. First used for in a two ways. First one is used for running an application and second one is used for to storing the application or to store the data. We can say data, not an application, it's data. So for example, I am starting a MS Word, then the thing comes, now my MS Word application has been started. So the question comes, where it's been started, or who is giving the area to which memory is providing the area to start this application? That's main memory. So what is the functionality of the main memory? Main memory is used for running the application. The question comes generally, is there any memory is there any application that not runs onto the main memory? Yes, there is single memory, that is there is a single application that not runs on the main memory, is BIOS, basic input output system. When your computer gets started, a black screen comes, that black screen basically is an interface of a program. That program name is BIOS, basic input output system. We will discuss what is the functionality of BIOS, all those stuffs. Well, so I was talking about main memory and secondary memory. So primary memory and secondary memory. So one of the primary memory is RAM, and I have given the features regarding the RAM. Now secondary memory is permanent storage area. It's very large. For example, you are having the hard drive, that's your C drive, D drive, you are partitioning the memory. If you would like to, somebody says, so how would you calculate what's your hard drive, how much it can store? You just calculate C drive, D drive, the it's somewhere written 160 GB, somewhere written it's 360 GB. Add it, say it. For example, if somebody says to you, okay, can you just let me know what's your main memory, how much your main memory? So you just have to go to the you just have to go click onto the my computer, go to the properties and see your system configuration. It's 1 GB or so. In this fashion you can calculate you can know your system RAM as well as your secondary memory of the system. There are another kind of secondary memories like your permanent storage area, like your pen drive, SDA, etc, etc. There's another memory like CD, floppy, BD, DVD. So they are having differences. Floppy is smaller than the CD is smaller than the DVD, and DVD is having this smaller storage area than the Blu-rays. Today we are having Blu-rays that can store around 9.7 GB or 12.5 GB, which is much more better option than the your DVD. Now the third major importance part of the computer system is computer system hardware is CPU, that's known as central processing unit. Basically we can say it's a slave for a master. So the question comes, who is the master of CPU? If I'm saying CPU is just a slave of some master, then who is that master? That master is basically operating system. Operating system says to CPU, do this or do that. So operating system is basically a manager who just pass some order to the CPU, and that's do whatever the instruction given by the user. So end user, like we people, we are knowing as end user. The person who is using system is known as end users. So end user is IT terminology. Sometimes they are known as end user, the person who is using who don't know computer system uh, in depth, they are known as or a person who is coming, just entering into the IT industry, or the person who is just entering into the internet world, they will known as a newbie. However, it's a slang word, but it's known as newbie or a novice user. These are the technical terms you must have to understand when you are coming into the IT industry. So well, I am saying about the end user. So end user just interacts with the computer operating system just translate it and give it to the CPU further interacts with the your hardware level, that is signals, because basically internally everything works on the signals. Why it's signals? Because I am saying we are defining computer as an electronic machine. Electronics is a branch of engineering where low voltage and low currents are flowing. That's all. This means that we are everything whatever we are saying, that instruction is finally converted into the signals. That signals is a digital signal. The representation of a digital signal is in the format of a 1 0. That's why computer understand only a single language, that's we say low level language or machine level language, that's a binary language, because it's understands signals. That's why. So we are saying about CPU. So CPU is just a slave for a operating system. These are the computer system hardware. The second part is software. Software which is tangible. Basically, software is a collection of programming files. Excuse me. Software is a collection of programming files to do a particular work. For example, I'm saying particular work means that is software is a single target oriented. For example, if I'm saying you know mm, XP, then I don't say I have, if I'm installing XP, then I can't say I am having the Visual Studio or a C++ software also. I install C++ software also. Operating system software will do operating system works. It won't do like your programming language works. So every software has a single target oriented based. So software is a collection of programs. Now because the question comes, programming files. Computer system has in a programming file is basically divided into two parts. First one is known as executable, the second one is dependable executable. For example, whatever the launchers are executable. In Windows you can identify launcher as a .exe file. So the application whose the files or application whose extension is .exe, that is the executables files, and other than that the supportive files are known as dependable executable. If you are working on a C programming language, then .dll is basically a dependable executable. That means dependable executable files will not run independently. They need some caller. Basically that caller is .exe, right? For example, if you're having a setup of antivirus, you can see that in an antivirus setup there are a lot of more than 10, 20 or many more files, but you are just going to the setup and double click on it and clicking on the next and install it. But suppose that if you just remove any files, any supportive file from that folder, and then again you try to install, you will get an error that this DLL is missing or this file is missing. That means these DLL or these files, dependable executables, are used by a caller in some point. The questions comes, what is the need? Why I should make dependable executable? Why I should not put everything into the .exe file? The answer is very simple. We are just trying to divide a bigger problem into small units. Since our main memory is very limited memory, that's why we just try to run a small unit of application at one time, and when the other codes is needed, or when the other part of the program is needed, then that should come at runtime. So that suppose you are having 10,000 of line, and at 10,000 of line for the first few minutes you need only five lines. But when the application if everything I put into the .exe, then what is the problem is that will become it will take a space onto the main memory. However, at the runtime I need first few minutes only 5 lines of codes. That's why I should put everything into the distributed manner, so that it will take, so that it increases the performance. That's it. So this technique is basically in IT industry is known as modular programming. That's what is the need of modular programming, and that smaller units are known as modules. That modules is called by the some entry point functions. In C program they are known as like main, or in C++ they are called as main function, or in Java or in .NET with to call these all files we need a kind of function name is main. We will talk about what is function or what is main. That are the things related to the programming language, but I just given the idea. Now we understand programming files, the types, how many types of programming files. Now the question comes, what is program? So program is a set of instruction which is arranged logically, and it's also do a particular work at a time. For example, the thing is, thing I'm saying, program is a set of instruction. Then the question comes, what is instruction? Instruction is just English like a statement. Now we are trying to illustrate this all things. For example, if I'm saying your name is what, you are saying this person is an idiot person because he don't know the grammar. That means to say, to speak a language, we should use, at least we should use somehow grammar, so that so that it can be understand easily. So basically, so basically uh, since programming is a language, every language, we are saying C is a programming language. Since I'm using the language, then every language must have a grammar. That's why it must be arranged logically as well as sequentially, so that it can address a particular thing. If the address is translated properly, then computer will give you the output you are expecting. Otherwise, computer is just a slave for you. That's it. So programming uh, is what is program? It's a set of instruction that is logically arranged and it's do a particular work. And instruction is just like English, like a statement. Now the question comes, what are the things needed to do a program? First of all, we need a tool. Using that tool, you can develop the software. The development of programming, basically we can say, to develop a software, you need a tool. The tool is known as programming language or a technology. So C is your tool to develop software. C++, C++, C sharp, Lisp, PHP, Java, J2ME, your many more languages like GDK, HashGTK, Python, Perl, Ruby, Lisp, Arto, etc., etc. So you need a now you have to understand exactly the evolution of programming language that we will discuss in the next lecture. Thank you so much for watching.